Then we come to the posterior rhinoscopy. For posterior rhinoscopy, again you will be needing a tongue's depressor or a lag spatula. This is posterior rhinoscopy mirror. Posterior rhinoscopy mirror, it's a bended or angulated mirror which has an end at the junction of its handle and its shaft. At this end, this is a bend in this area, and you will be able to perform this posterior rhinoscopy through this. What you do is you will ask the patient to open his mouth and gently depress the tongue with the help of this tongue depressor. You insert this posterior rhinoscopy mirror along with this tongue depressor and go up till beyond the uvula. You will go beyond the uvula and ask the patient to quietly breathe through the nose. When the patient breathes through the nose, the nasopharyngeal isthmus, which is the partition between the nasopharynx and the oropharynx, it opens up widely when the patient quietly breathes through the nose, and you will be able to see the posterior nasal apertures or the choana, or the nasopharynx. You will be also able to see the nasopharynx. Before going for posterior rhinoscopy, what you do is you will be needing a warming spirit lamp or a warming instrument. In the professional examination, you will be provided a spirit lamp examination for warming it. So in here I will be needing a warming instrument or a warming spirit lamp for that. Anybody having some light? Okay, when you warm this posterior rhinoscopy mirror from the mirror side, not from the other side. You just warm it gently with the mirror side, and then you insert it into the nasal cavity up till you see the nasopharynx. The purpose of warming this mirror is to avoid misting when you insert it into the oral cavity. Otherwise there will be misting and you won't be able to see the nasopharynx. This is an indirect method or a crude method for examination of the nasopharynx. What happens is the light comes from the Bose lamp, it strikes the head mirror, the concave mirror, it goes into the oral cavity, it strikes the mirror on the posterior rhinoscopy mirror, the light is reflected onto the nasopharynx and touch the posterior choana or the nasopharyngeal any area. It is reflected back onto the mirror and it goes back into the examiner's eye. So this is the pathway how the examination is being done. Make sure that you depress the tongue depressor. With the help of a tongue depressor, you depress it on the anterior 2/3 of the tongue. Do not depress it beyond that, because the posterior 1/3 of the tongue is supplied by glossopharyngeal, and if you touch it, the gag reflex is there. Similarly, if you do not touch the posterior pharyngeal wall as well. If you touch the posterior pharyngeal wall, the gag reflex will be elicited. Okay. So after warming this mirror, gently depress the tongue and insert it up till you reach the uvula. नाक से लंबे लंबे सांस लें, नाक से लंबे लंबे सांस लें, लंबे लंबे सांस लें, and then you remove it back. So this is in posterior rhinoscopy. You should look at the adenoid shadow. No, actually adenoids. It's not the shadow. Adenoids or the choana. Look for any nasopharyngeal tumor, nasopharyngeal mass, and you will be able to see the choanal atresia as well. In sometimes in unilateral choanal atresia, the patients present in the adult age. Bilateral choanal atresia, which is choanal atresia means the atresia of the posterior nasal apertures. So bilateral choanal atresia, it's an acute emergency. The patients, the children who are born with bilateral choanal atresia, they require emergency tracheostomy because they cannot breathe. Children are mouth breathers, they cannot breathe through the mouth, children are nose breathers, they cannot breathe through the mouth. So in cases of bilateral choanal atresia, emergency tracheostomy is performed. However, in cases of unilateral choanal atresia, this will be overlooked till the patient reaches the age of 20 or 30, and then he presents with a unilateral nasal obstruction. If you are to perform this posterior rhinoscopy, then you will be asked about the causes regarding the obstruction in the nasopharynx, which is called the rhinolalia aperta. Rhinolalia aperta, it's a entity in which there is obstruction in the nasopharynx, and the patient has a hyponasal voice because the nasal obstruction is there. So you will be asked about the causes of the bilateral nasal obstruction and unilateral nasal obstruction if you are to given command of posterior rhinoscopy. Okay, and similarly you are supposed to examine the lymph nodes at the end of the examination when you are done with your nasal examination.